this isn't as loud, is it?
That's good.
Yeah. That's a good fan. Didn't Gay get you that?
Yeah.
I'm going to get you that white castle number.
Your grandma, whenever you were 16,
Huh?
when you were 16, you said that you saw Jesus.
Yeah, I was 15.
What
I was
happened?
about 15 when that happened. No, I didn't see Jesus. I saw it. I just saw a light, a little light, just a bright little light. I was in the bed, and a voice spoke up and said, "If you don't come to me now," said, you'll have many troubles to bear." And said, then it went on and said again, "You'll have more trouble than all your people if you don't come to me now." And I started crying, and like Gladys, my sister, was in bed with me. And she said, what is it? And I told her. I said, "Did you see that little light here?" And she said, "Oh, you just mad at that. You woke me up." You know, she was mad. And so, but, you know, I knew better. I said, "No, I didn't imagine that. It must have been an angel speaking to me." So, but I didn't turn to him. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. I was also trying to do good. I was also trying to live good, but I didn't understand that no matter how good you live, if you don't take Jesus Christ as Savior, you know, it's not enough. And you know, that the main thing is you believe Jesus, repent, and then you know, when you believe what He did for you, you repent, you see sin and repent. But just to believe, just to do good, you know, I was always taught to not steal, kill, do all those things, you know. And you know, I was just all the time trying to, but I didn't know how to get saved. I didn't really know how to come. So, but I got all those troubles too. And I guess I had more than all the people. I wouldn't be surprised if I did. But everyone had trouble, so who is it going? I don't know.
Some families have more than others, seems like that.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes.
And then whenever you got saved?
Yeah, after that, when no, I didn't get saved, honey. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get saved. I didn't get saved
You were 25?
until I was married. I was 25 and had 3 children. 3 children living and 1 dead. Bernice was a baby. She's 3 months old.
Did you get baptized in the river?
Yeah, out in the river.
Which river?
There's, I don't know how many more people were baptized. People about my age and younger, same time. Well, it wasn't. You know, it was right out the edge. It was a licking river. It didn't go way out in it, you know, but it's still deep.
And what happened?
Lacey was there, and my dad both. It was there looking on. And my mother was, she was one of the main ones that helped me take Jesus and Savior. She was one of them. She just kept encouraging me, talking to me. And but it was in the winter time. You know, it was February, and you know, I just that was awful. It was just, you just chill when you got in that water. And I wondered. My dad didn't want me to be baptized, and he said it was too cold. He said, wait till the weather got warmer. And I've wondered since then, you know, if he was right or not. It was all of them, nearly all the people as young were Baptists, were United Baptist People's Children. They went to the Methodist revival. And they didn't want to be baptized in the baptistry. We could have rented or we wouldn't have had to rent it. The Christian church had a baptistry and said we could use it if we wanted to. And but they just said, no, we don't believe in some of the church. We don't believe in the baptistry. You want to go baptized in the river. You know, a whole big bunch of them said that.
And after you got baptized, what happened?
Well, after I got baptized, you know, I kind of took, old Satan started tempting me, telling me I wasn't a Christian, Oh, yeah, no, it's before I was baptized. He tried to keep me from being baptized, Satan did. He just kept told me that I shouldn't be baptized and everything, you know. And he made me afraid. And he made me afraid, and I got in that water and I about chilled to death. And it seemed like he was far away from me. And while I was in there, I lost my breath and couldn't get my breath. It cut my breath off. And then in a few minutes, I got my breath back. And I was so happy when I got my breath back that I just went, you know, said, "Your Father in heaven, I'll go your way from now on." And just, you know.
You say you started speaking.
Thank you, dear Father in heaven, for saving me. I saved my life. I'll go your way from now on. I didn't drown. But before that, you know, he started tempting me and tried to keep me from being baptized.
If you had never got saved,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, I was already saved when I was baptized.
No, I mean, if you never had, what do you think would have happened to you now? You know,
No telling what, honey. No telling what would happen to me. And you can't tell those things. You just don't know. And after I did, Satan he took spells all along. When you're a new Christian, he tries to take your faith away and everything. He would never let you alone. And but somehow I'd always, another Christian would encourage me. My mother or somebody explained things to me. And I just, you know, it started again. And they started asking me, you know, they'd come to mind asking to forgive you. If you took Jesus and you saved you, you can ask him to forgive you if you think you've done wrong. And, you know, my mother would say that. And then so I would, if I did something I shouldn't do, said something I shouldn't say,
Mom killed his bud.
I still have to ask him to forgive me every day for something. Human nature is apt to say something they shouldn't say or get a wrong thought.
It's in the back.
Ant went in the back?
Yeah. Nope. Take it there.
It's a big ant.
Big black ant. And whenever Joy died, did she get real sick before?
Yeah, you see, that was before I got saved.
Yeah.
I wasn't saved when Joy died. I was just all the time trying to do good all the time.
But had she been sick for a long time, or?
Yeah, she stayed in the hospital a good while. But we had the doctor home, and she never tried to do everything we could for her. She got a diarrhea and put blood through her, and it would never heal. We could never get it checked. They put her in the hospital, and they did everything they could. Finally, they said they couldn't do no more, and they brought her home. Her dad stayed in the hospital. He stayed over there in Paintsville nearly all the time. He stayed away from his job in the clerk's office and stayed over there with her. I couldn't go. It was just before my divorce was born. They didn't want, my mom and dad didn't want me to go over there.
And after Joy died, did you ever?
They brought her home. She died at home. Yeah. And actually, she died home 3 weeks before Dolores was born. And I don't know, me and her daddy, one were Christians then. He was crazy over that child.
I bet he was.
Yeah.
She was the sweetest little girl, little curly-headed girl.
Did Daddy first came home, from work, did he run and get
Huh?
Joy? Did he go pick Joy up, or what? When he came home from work and everything, did he run to Joy first? I mean, when he got in from work. And Joy was, walking and stuff. Did Daddy go
Yeah.
pick her up and play with her and stuff?
Yeah. She's crazy over him, too.
Yeah. Can you see Mom from there, Bob? I thought I could. Bobby's
Yeah.
going to get her. He's interviewing Mom. And his grandma. Where was George?
Well, we better take those things seriously. But as I go to think about they judge Christians so much in the church, listen, if them people that go there to church, and leaders and things, if they didn't mean right, they wouldn't go.
Most of them wouldn't.
Why, they wouldn't, why, they may not be perfect, or they may get things wrong, but they wouldn't be going if they didn't. That's what they used to, I used to sure criticize everybody in the Baptist church.
Yeah, they wouldn't take the trouble to go if they didn't.
Yeah, and it was one of Miss Guthrie's daughters brought that to my mind. She said, that's all right, said if what they be there for if they wasn't Christians, talking about people in the Methodist church.
Christina Guthrie.
That was May, the one called May.
Oh.
She's got one named May.
No, Anna.
No, Anna's died. They have a daughter named May.
The Guthries have Marie.
Yeah, but they have a daughter named May, one of the older ones.
No, it's Alice.
Who?
Alice. Alice Steele. Alice.
No.
Mom, they just had 4 daughters. They had Alice was oldest, then Anna, then Christina, then Marie. That's all the Guthries there were, as girls.
Well, the other must have been...
So maybe they married a Guthrie or something. Now, Marjorie and Ernest had some Guthries. They had some kids. Regina was one of their children.
I know that.
But the Guthrie family they had Anna.
But there was one of the Guthries named May. I don't know who it was.
Well, it wasn't their
She
daughter.
worked as a nurse in the hospital.
Bobby, are you choking?
No, put it here.
I'm going to find out.
Mom, Alice
Maybe
is a nurse.
Sister.
Her daughter, Alice, is a nurse now. She went when she's real old. Her daughter, Rhonda, got killed in Colorado. She had just finished nurses training, went there to go get on a job, and she got killed. Rhonda Steele.
I don't know where I got the name May in my
maybe there's somebody's middle name was May, or, I don't know. But anyway, Alice was around 50 when this happened, and she went to nurse's school and became a nurse because Rhonda got killed, her daughter did, and she's a nurse now.
Well,
Alice
she
did.
wasn't. She didn't have a middle name named May, did she?
It could be Alice May, I don't know.
Yeah, I
It
know
sure could.
But
I don't really know her middle name.
I'm
I don't remember Marie's middle name. Oh, it's Hazel Marie.
I don't know her middle
Yeah.
name either.
And Christina, I don't know what Christina's middle name is.
They just call her Teeny most people.
Yeah,
do.
Teeny Mom. Everybody calls her that.
Regina's her name, isn't it?
No, Christina.
Yeah, Christina.
Yeah, Regina is Ernest's
Yeah,
daughter.
that's right. Yeah.
Ernest and Dennis and Chris,
Yeah,
and
I
Dennis
can't-
and Don.
I can't keep up
Guthrie
with
and
Ernest's children. I don't know
Regina.
what happened.
Well, they have, now of course Jimmy Guthrie has 3 or 4 daughters.
Jimmy.
Jimmy and Martha Sweeney. They got married when they were younger. They had 4 or 5 daughters.
Well, maybe
Tanya
that could be, they might have one named May.
Yeah, they could, because they're getting up there. They have to be in their late
Yeah.
30s. Those kids do. Jimmy and Martha's kids, because Jimmy is 2 years older than me.
Well, this was the old,
58.
whoever it was the oldest daughter. I know they.
Well, it could have been Martha and Jimmy's daughter. It sure could. I don't know what their kids were named. They had 4 daughters, I think, and 2 boys. They had, or maybe they had all girls. I don't know. They had a bunch of kids. And Marie and Charles had 3, and I just knew about 2 of them for the longest time. I didn't know Marie had the second son. I just thought she
I
had
don't
Lisa
either.
Marie.
I don't
and,
know any of their children.
Yeah, well, their daughter Lisa Marie, Charles and Marie's daughter, Smith's daughter married a preacher.
She did?
Mm-hmm. Somewhere in Lexington, Kentucky, where she met him in college.
Where was Joy born?
Huh?
Where was Joy born?
She was born, let's see. Oh, she was born in Ohio.
Portsmouth?
Yeah, Versailles, I think, is where we lived when she was born.
Versailles, Ohio?
We moved to Portsmouth, down
Oh, I didn't
below.
know there was a Versailles, Ohio.
Huh?
I didn't know there was a Versailles,
Yeah,
Ohio.
there was.
Oh, isn't that weird? We lived in Versailles, Indiana, too, for a while.
Well, that's the way, I know it, but Versailles is sure what
Yeah,
they-
well, there's Versailles in a lot of states. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
a town, you know. But I just didn't, I thought it was, you know, a coincidence. But I remember going somewhere in Ohio and visiting somebody. They had a porch that went just about all the way around their house. And I remember running around on that porch. I was only about 3 or 4, you know.
Well, we used to have a porch in Kentucky, down in Gifford, Kentucky, went all
Well, I
around.
wouldn't have known that. We visited somebody. I thought they were in Ohio. That had a porch that went all the way just about around the house. And I remember getting so tired and bored and thinking, I wish they'd want to go home. Or I wish that we could leave, or I wish we could do something. I was real, Bill was a baby because no one was out there for me. I think Bernice was reading a book or looking at a book or drawing or coloring. I don't know.
Grandma, when you first met your husband, what did he say to you when you first met him?
Well, I don't know. He come from, he lived in he was working in Ohio, and his dad lived over in Greenock County, not far away from Kentucky, not far away from Ohio, but he was staying over in Portsmouth, Ohio, working. And he come to visit his cousins, Luther and Lonnie.
Did you know Luther and Lonnie?
Yeah.
Before you knew Daddy? Before you met Daddy?
Yeah, I knew them before I ever met. You know, he come back there visiting them.
Oh.
And I don't hardly remember, he would, they'd have parties all the time then, you know, and I'd see him at the parties, and he would all the time see him come and want to talk to me or something. And I was too bashful.
Well, was he shy
I was
too?
real bashful. No, he wasn't shy at all.
Really?
No, he didn't seem like he was then. And it wasn't with me anyway. And he was just all the time around talking to me. And finally, he'd just come and go talking to me. He'd just go walking with me, or I'd never went with him. I was too bashful.
I mean, he just, every place you went, he just kind of more or less followed
I was
you,
about
didn't he?
16 then when I
Yeah.
first met him. But we didn't get married, you know, for several years. And every time he'd come back there to visit them, he'd come see me, you know. And I remember Lonnie's wife, she was right after him all the time. Murray Reed.
Oh.
She was right after your dad all the time. But somehow he picked on me.
Well, he liked you better. Obviously.
Where did you get married at?
I didn't get married until I was 19.
Now, where? He said where?
Right in my home. Cow Creek, it was in Montgomery County, and called Cow Creek, where we lived. That's where I got married. That's where I lived when I got married.
Did you have a maid of honor and all that?
They just had, they didn't call it a maid of honor. They just
Somebody to stand up.
best man or best woman.
Stand up with you.
And it was
People
Luther
stand up.
Dunn and his girlfriend, Beulah Reed.
Luther. Did he end up marrying Augie Crater?
The Crater, yeah. He didn't get married until he was way up in years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She had the big butt
He ended up marrying him and Flora was crazy over him, but he never did want to get married or something.
Yeah.
And then after he got older, and after we moved to Sayersville, my dad, he'd see him over there.
Well, her name was...
He asked about her. He said, Oliver Crater. My dad said, well, she's a nice girl. So
But she's ugly.
Yeah, she's a nice girl.
I remember her. I was a little kid, but I stared at her all the time because she had these big buck teeth. She laughed a lot, but she had real big
she was
old
old
buck
maid
teeth.
kind of. She was,
Yeah,
you know,
but she laughed
like
a lot.
He was an
She
old
was real
bachelor.
friendly. But
He was a
I was
bachelor,
about
she was
3
an old
then, I
maid.
guess. But I remember just staring at her teeth because they were so big.
Yeah, my dad said,
Far apart
now that's a nice girl. And so he started going with her.
Wonder whatever happened to Shafter.
And
You know, Ada Adams' son. That they had so much trouble with Shafter.
yeah, well, it's not been so many years ago he died, and I saw Gladys column in the paper.
About him?
Yeah, about him. I think he had made a profession of faith.
After all,
before
he was in jail and everything else when he was young, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a wicked little
Yeah.
fellow.
And then didn't they have one son that was good, that was nice? One son that was nice, and then Shafter. Didn't they have another son?
Yeah, they had.
That was good, a good boy.
He had, well, his Shafter was.
What's his name?
You see, his dad had been married, was county superintendent John C. Adams for many years, and his wife had died, and then
He married Ada?
then he married he had some of his children, left them orphans, and then he married somebody named Ada, and they had a family, her, and let's see, Shafter, I wonder, was he one of Ada's daughters? He was one of her sons, or was it a stepson? I forgot.
Yeah, I remember all that.
I think he was her stepson.
About when he was hiding some girl, they were looking for her up in the hills. He had her in their attic. I was a little kid, yeah. In the 80s house, he had hidden that girl in his attic. And the cops, police were up on the hill looking for her. I don't know what she had done. But they were looking for that girl, and he was hiding her in you know, their attic.
So they couldn't find her.
Yeah. And I remember all that, and it's, you know, I didn't drink that.
What did you wear when you got married?
Well, I got me a wedding dress, and it was white, you know, with a big bunch of lace and ribbons and things all over down here. But it wasn't real long.
I wish we had pictures of
They
that.
didn't make it long for down to the feet.
Yeah.
It just, you know, down
regular.
midway the legs or something.
No one took pictures back then of your
Yeah, I
wedding?
think Beulah Reed-Dunn took some
I
pictures.
wonder what all those pictures could be.
You
know?
Well, when we came from, you know, when we moved for sales, we lost most all of them.
Yeah.
Some of them they found, some of them, we left them, lost them in the house that was right out from my dad's house.
Oh,
Rose and Sam's house was, well, Rose and Sam, they stayed with my dad a while. They moved in with him a while. They went out there and found those pictures.
Oh.
Yeah. Nearly every one of them stayed with him a while before they couldn't hardly get their one that got married, Rose and Sam.
You and
Even
Daddy
his
didn't?
brother and all of them, they couldn't move out right at first. Frank and Dee, every one of them moved to stay with him till he found a house.
But you didn't,
But
you
we
and
didn't.
Daddy?
No. We
Daddy
didn't
probably
want-
wouldn't have wanted to.
He wouldn't have wanted to at all.
He seemed like
But they
independent.
always said he got treated better because he got to work in the office. And they
Oh,
didn't.
well, he was probably smarter
But
than...
he did the work, you know.
Well, Daddy was smart. He was smart.
He was gifted.
Yeah, he was. He went to the 4th grade and learned how to do all that stuff.
He learned to type, and
Yeah.
he learned to type after we got married.
Yeah.
He learned in my dad's office. He got a job there. He learned to type. He just learned it himself.
Well, he was smarter than probably the rest of them, or
Yeah.
at least had more, you know, will to learn and do. You know, it's hard to, you know, I was 15 and a half when Daddy died, but I didn't really know him. It was hard to say I knew him. We didn't know what to say to
Martha
him.
was also afraid of him and run.
Well, she was only 2, so she don't even remember him. She don't remember Daddy at all.
I know the reason he come in drinking whenever she'd see him, you know.
Yeah,
She was scared.
Yeah, she was so shy. Martha was. get some coffee and sit out there with Daddy. With your daddy.
Who told you when
Huh?
your husband got hit by a car?
Yeah, I heard it on television. I turned the radio, I guess it was. I don't
You
think
mean
we had
before
a
they
television
told
then.
you? You
Huh?
heard before Daddy got hit by a car?
Me and Dolores had the radio on, I think it was. I don't think
They
we
didn't
had
give his
television.
name, did they?
Huh?
Did they give his name?
Yeah. Said Lacey Dunn been hit by a car. Dolores come out. Dolores was laying down, had the radio.
You never know how you learn.
She come tearing out of that bed and just, and I couldn't.
You had a baby 10 days.
Yeah, my baby was too young. I couldn't get ready that fast, And she said, "Oh, Mama boy," and I said, "Well, Dolores, I'm not ready now. I can't go right now." And she said, "Well, I'm going." And she tore out. She didn't get hot. She just put on anything she could get a hold of. And she went. They totally took him to the hospital. They told it on the radio.
To Clark County?
I don't know. I don't know.
Or did it take him to Floyd Memorial first and please take him to Clark County afterwards?
I think Clark County's where
Yeah,
they took him.
that's where they took him later.
Yeah, that's where they took him. And she said, I said, Dolores, I said, if he's real bad, I said, you come back after me. But she wouldn't come. She found him suffering.
Stay there.
Just crying at the top of his voice and so much pain,
Yeah.
screaming, calling, "Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord," just praying his best. In so much pain.
Yeah, that's broken
Hip, and then everything, collarbone,
this big bone here is what.
Yeah, everything,
Somebody just hit him, that's all.
knocked him out of breath and everything. And finally, the next day, Dolores come back home and wouldn't take me, and she told me about what he'd done and everything. She said, "I don't want you to see him, Mom, it'll make you worse." And Bernice was going with Dwight.
Yeah.
And so Bernice, I asked Bernice if her and Dwight would drive me. She reckoned she'd get Dwight to drive me down there.
Did he like
She said yes, they did.
Dwight
They
did
was
it?
engaged,
Good. Yeah, Dwight was always real nice.
Yeah, they were engaged. And so I wouldn't have got to go. Doris wouldn't take me at all. And if they hadn't took me. But he was, when I got there, he was just, well, that was the next morning, we'd been in there. Not for the next evening. This is after midnight whenever they found him. And it was the next evening about 6 o'clock before I could get down there. Before they'd take me, before got anybody to take me.
Oh, my goodness.
He was right then, he was just, that's the way he was breathing. He used to breathe that fast. He couldn't cry because he's too short of breath. Do anything. He was breathing as hard as he could. And I went in and spoke to him, and he looked up at me, and when I spoke to him, he stopped that breathing fast just a minute, and then he'd get real quiet for a minute.
He knew
and
you.
then
He knew
in
you
a
were
few
there.
minutes he'd go back again.
But he knew you were there, right?
Yeah, he knew I was there, and but the nurses wouldn't let me stay in there. I'd been in the hospital too, with the baby. The baby was 10 days old.
I know.
Yeah, and they said it's not good for you to be in there. We don't want you to stay in there. They just let me stay about 5 minutes and make me go back out in the hall and sit. And all along I'd keep asking, can I go back in again? And they'd finally let me go, you can't stay but a few minutes. And finally I did that all night, nearly, in and out. And then,
Pitiful.
I don't know.
And whoever did it, you said later on you thought that
They
guy
thought,
named Vax.
a lot of people think that it was
Claude Hardy.
Chloe Hardy. They
Oh,
still,
yeah.
some of them still.
I do too. I think so too. If he didn't do it, he knows who did it. I mean, it may have been one of his brothers. Those big brutes. Because I saw him in a ball game a little after at a ball tournament.
One of those,
One of them had a black eye.
people with the fruit market. He had been to that place, and he runs that. And
that
his,
Baxter.
after he died, after that man died, he's the one found him first. He's the first one found him. And then a years after your daddy died, after he died, his uncle, that man never told me nothing about, was up here in Henryville.
Yeah.
And he said, no, Mrs. Dunn said, no doubt, he's the one hit your husband. I said, well, he said he hit him, but he didn't, he said he's already laying there. I said, you couldn't tell about a man like him. He wouldn't tell it till he died,
Oh, that was pretty crummy. Yeah.
Yeah, I said.
He probably did do it then. But he still
But
didn't want it back.
he admitted, he's the one that turned him, call the hospital, He's the one called, he's the one called him, had him take
The
him.
police, yeah.
And,
I always felt like I had something there.
well, he had been to the Hardy restaurant that night, and
Well, the bar, he'd been to the...
he'd been to the bar when he was out walking.
It was the wheel.
And some of them said that Claudia hit him in there,
Well, he did.
crippled him.
In spite. Really?
Yeah, they said that. They don't told that.
Well, one of the
said,
Hardy boys had black eyes.
There's an old woman called me and told me Carter Hardy was going to kill my husband.
Her name was Smith.
And she...
Why didn't we needed to got...
she said, no doubt he's the one who killed your
Well,
husband.
nobody ever would look.
Said this, he was watching them gamble, and somebody won something, and Claudia wouldn't pay him, and Lacey spoke up and said, Claudia, if you owe the man, said, why don't you pay him? And said the lights went out and the fight again. Said turn the lights off. And she thinks Claudia Hardy hit him, crippled him in there. Well, what he was hitting was break his hip in a place like that. I just don't know.
Well, that's a shame. But she took a big chance.
This man said, yes, Mrs. Dunn, and no doubt he's the one who killed your husband. Said you couldn't count on. He was his nephew, and he said he was his uncle, and he said there's no. But he didn't tell him it. He wouldn't tell it to Seth till after that man died.
So what time
he was out here in Henryville when he told me that.
What time did Grandpa Dunn die?
Well, he died. They found him just after midnight, and he died. He died before midnight. About 1 o'clock or something the next night. Yeah. But I just didn't get to see him till 6. That night after.
So what caused him to die?
Well, he was in so much pain. He was just in so much pain,
Is it shock and explosion?
Yeah, he was hurt inside too. They said he was hurt inside. They think he had internal bleeding and everything.
Whoever hit him must have been going off that.
Did they give him a shot to kill him?
They did what they could then. I don't know whether it seemed like they could have done more. I don't know.
And you had to tell all the kids that he died when you came home?
I remember.
Well, I come home and then he died after I got here, didn't I think? They made me come home.
Yeah, that's what happened.
But
Yeah.
who told the kids that he died?
But before I left, he recognized me and he just looked real pleasant, looked me right in the eye. And he quit, when I'd speak to him, he'd quit breathing. He'd quit breathing real fast for a minute. And every time I'd speak to him, and when I got a chance to speak to him. When I first got to speak to him, I said, honey, trust in Jesus and he'll forgive you. He was asking, oh, Lord, forgive me. He'd been praying at it. Dolores heard him saying that. And I said, trust Jesus, honey, and he'll forgive you. And then he'd stop breathing fast for a minute and then get real quiet and then he'd go back again. And every time that I'd go in, I'd say something to him like that. And then right towards the last, he recognized me. He looked right up in my face and just looked, just like he was glad to see me. Looked right up in my face and I could see his recognition of me for a good little while, longer than he had been. that helped me to bury him. I'd always prayed for him to get saved, and I knew that somewhere, someplace, I never did give up, him and my dad both, that they would be saved before he died. I bore everything from him. And I just thought somewhere he'd be saved before he died. And to me, there was the place. There's where he got saved. I told him the way, and he'd show recognition of it every time he mentioned his name.
When did you first find out that Paul Eddie had leukemia?
He got real sick, you know, took him to the hospital, over to Children's Hospital in Louisville. And they said he had leukemia over there. He stayed over there, you know, till he died. Or brought him back home. Which one was it that you was looking on? Was that Dave?
You and I were in there with Eddie when he died.
Was it Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why, yes, that's why. Just that shot took him out. He had had his treatments, but he still wasn't well. But you know, but he still, was still alive. And that shot took him out. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. That doctor didn't live long as said after that.
They were just trying to experiment, trying to tell him, but they couldn't. They didn't know how. They didn't know what to do for him.
No, but he come in and kept asking me. He seemed to be resting good, you know, after he had got all the treatments.
Yeah.
And I said, they said, he'd come in and ask me, said, can we give him the shot? And I didn't want him to. I was afraid. And he'd keep coming back and said, I think he'll rest better. And I said, well, I thought he's resting pretty good already. And he said, we think he ought to rest better. Said, with your permission, said, I'll go and ask the man that was over the hospital. Who was that doctor? I forget his name now that was over it all. The one that sent him down there. Is the doctor?
Dr. Borders.
Who?
Dr. Borders.
No, that wasn't the one.
No, that was the man, Dr. Roby.
Roby, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Borders downtown thought he had,
Yeah.
thought he was anemic.
Yeah, he didn't know.
He sent him to Dr. Roby.
Yeah, Roby's the one. And this doctor come back, and Roby wasn't the one giving the shot though.
No.
This doctor come back and said, Dr. Roby told us to go ahead and give it the shot. And they sent a little girl in to do it, you know.
She's Underwood, you knew her.
She probably didn't even know herself what.
It made her so sick she took off and ran away from the hospital.
Yeah, she
She
ran.
ran out to the parking lot. Because she felt like she killed the baby.
I know.
Even if
She
had
saw what happened.
Yeah, I know. She was from Underwood. She's a real nice girl.
That coffee you got? Yeah. Did you make some?
Yeah. You want some fruit coffee?
No.
You just drinking.
I've got some tea. I got a cup sitting in there waiting. I drink my 1 cup. I just drink 1 cup.
Now, whenever Marcia found David, did she come and tell you he was dead?
She's come and said, yeah, well, I had been in there, you know, before. I'd been in that room before, and he was breathing real fast, as hard as he could, and was making a noise, and I spoke to him. And he said, oh, you woke me up, you know, and he was fixing to go right. The doctor told me, he said, but he was going to die right then if you hadn't hollered at him. And so he got easier. And I was so tired I was about to die, and I come back in here and sit down to rest. And he went back to sleep, I thought. And then here come, after a while, here come Marcia here, and said, Mom, she said, look at David. started crying, you know, Martha started crying. I said, come here and look at David. She come through that room. And so I went and there he was dead. We called the doctor and he come and said, yes, he was dead. But you know, the thing about it was his hand was still warm all the time. Stayed warm. And whenever the doctor pronounced him dead, his hand was still warm. I thought people's hands got cold, you know. Honey, they was awful. Those doctors didn't want me to have a picture of him. They don't understand that. People don't understand. Doctors don't either. They don't understand everything, especially those doctors in, Dr. Green and Dr. Carr. I'm sure they were just practicing. No, Dr. Barton was. Dr. Carr. No, Dr. Barton. Yeah, Dr. Carr had. I said, he had just come up here. I think Barter had to go somewhere or see about something. Carr come in and help him out. Carr was going to come up here and said he was dead.
Did you ever sometimes just, did you ever ask God why he took your children?
Ask what, honey?
Did you ever question why God took so many of your children?
Yeah, I questioned, but I had to bear so many, just like that vision I had to bear so many things that I didn't question God. I just, I didn't question the Lord. I never did. The Lord's did. She'd get mad. She'd say, thank God treated us unfair and everything. But at the funeral home, and there was a man that knew your dad. She was just saying, oh, God's treated us unfair down there at the funeral home, talking to some people. And there was a man down there that knew your dad. Knew it. I'm not your dad, Matt.
Yeah. My granddad. Yeah. My grandfather.
Yeah. And he, and Dolores, was saying that. She was sitting right in front of the people. And this man spoke up and said, Dolores, said, I think you're wrong. Said, her husband told me about this woman. Said, no, I don't think. Said, I just said, no, she said something, she criticized me some way or something. Yeah, and he said, what do you think? Said, I'm going to ask your mother, what does she think about it? Do you blame God, Mrs. Brown? I said, no, I don't. I said, I wouldn't blame him. See, I said, no matter what he did, I wouldn't blame God. And he said, well, I knew that. Said, I knew Dolores was wrong. Said, your husband told me about her, about his wife. Said, I didn't think, said, I thought you must be wrong. So all the people just changed their minds into people that was listening in, a whole bunch of people that knew us.
Did you say one time you saw Joy and your husband?
Yeah, that was when
I
had a real bad allergy. I used to get them allergy spells and break out all over my face, my eyes, everywhere, and how the awful spell there was. And I was in that room in there, and I just kind of dozed or something and had a vision. And was seeing Lacey. He was seeing him sitting out there in an old chair. Yeah, once, in one of those old chairs, he'd sit him still out there, that old chair is on the front. That old green chair, he had it down in the yard. And I just saw him sit down in the old chair. And said, I once lost it downtown. I was blind, but now I see. Just as plain as anything. And then just not long after that, or about the same time, I forget it was, I got to thinking about Joy, and I went to sleep, and I just kind of dozed to sleep or something, and saw Joy, Joy come, that little girl come out there in that old porch, the cistern over those standing on over the cistern, those bricks, those cement standing over. Seeing her just jumping around out there, and saying, this is what did I say? She said, now I about forgot. Yeah, just jump around, a little angel, just little wings. She had wings, just jumping around out there, flying around, just laughing, just looking so happy.
And she said, I can't stay, is that what she said?
Yeah, and I said, Joy, are you going to stay here? She said, nope, can't stay. I said, if I stay here, I'll have to die again. She said, I can't stay, and then she just went away.
Did she look a little bit older than she did?
Well, I don't
When
know,
she
she
died?
had wings, a little angel. I don't know, can't hardly, I just saw just a little angel and a little curly hair and everything, though, was still there. But she had wings, just running around on that old cement over the cistern. Then it just vanished away. That's the way your dad did. You saw your dad too. They both just vanished away then.
So then you knew he was in heaven. You knew he had gotten saved after you saw that?
Yes, I believed he did. I believe God answered my prayer. He got saved before he died. And I always did. And then that helped my belief too, seeing us. He'd do some things that were so awful. And, but I knew that if he ever got saved, he wouldn't do it. I always knew that.
Did you ever see visions about David?
Huh?
Did you ever see visions about David or Paul Eddie?
About David, let's see. I can hardly remember right now. I think I have. I think I saw visions about them all.
What about Bill?
Well, I hardly remember. About David, though, I think, I've got forgot now. I thought of those things so much. I've had so many problems, all much pain myself. Is some of the children out there?
No. No.
Oh, there's Doris.
Yeah.
This light up here hurts my eyes when I look at it. The bathroom, take my tea cup in there and get another. Get some more tea. I've got some more sitting in there. It's hard for me to get up. It won't do for me to sit down too long. It makes it harder for me to get up. It's better for me to walk some. I can keep that shoe on long enough. These old rugs, they all need taking up.